All right, good evening. Hopefully you can hear me tonight. We've had some technical difficulties in the last 2 days, and so just give me a little sign that you can hear me. Raise your hand or write in the chat. Just let me know if you can hear me right now as we get started. I think that is positive news. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, great. So we are going to jump right in to another JK deal reveal, and I am working at a handicap right now. So give me a moment. I am going to share my screen and get us started in just a few moments. Okay, that should do it. Do you see my screen? Are we good to go with JK's deal reveal? Right, wonderful. Okay, so thank you and welcome. Hope you're having an amazing week. Here we are, Thursday already, and I have some exciting deals for you today. Today is JK deal reveal. We're actually going to go through a couple of deals. So let's jump right into it right now. But first, we're getting excited. Why? Because we are going to learn how to analyze deals lightning fast, okay? We don't want to get stuck in analysis paralysis, and so we want to be able to tap into these amazing opportunities because they are available and they are just waiting for us, but we cannot just stay in our heads because they are never going to end up in our bankroll if it just stays between your ears. So we want to invest where the numbers make sense, and I think that half the price for double the return is a good place to start when it comes to the numbers. So on today's JK deal reveal, we are going to dive into not one, not two, not three, but 5 deals at once. And I'm going to show you how quickly you can analyze 5 deals, okay? So you see it right at the bottom of the screen. These are the properties that we are going to be looking over tonight. We have 5 duplexes, and some of them are even triplexes in there. So 5 multifamilies, 5 small multifamilies at 4076 to 4096 East 139th Street in Cleveland, asking price $335,000 for 5 multifamilies combined. So let's take a look. How would we take a look at this? So how did this deal start? This deal started basically by word of mouth. A wholesaler heard from another wholesaler that we buy properties in this area. And so we get this email, poof, and he sends me this, basically this P&L for the portfolio. So right out the gate, I want you to recognize the key features here, right? They're providing us a fairly detailed analysis already. And so I just want to make sure that there's nothing completely off in here, right? So how do we do that? If they're giving us the breakdown, yes, we could use the 50% rule, but we've already got the details. So let's dive right into Summit to make sure that there isn't a step missing in their analysis. Okay, so Summit. Let's go in the opposite direction. Summit or Timis if you go upside down. So T starting with taxes. So taxes, we see they're right there. He basically put the taxes for all 5 properties, and these can be verified in county records, and let's assume they're accurate. They are accurate. Then we have I for insurance. Okay, do we have insurance? And yes, we do. And you'll notice that these are not round numbers, right? 975 is kind of round. 1,166, that's not round at all. So these are not approximations, most likely. These are factual numbers. So you can kind of glean that just from looking how round the numbers are. After that, we have maintenance and management. Okay, fantastic. So we're not missing any of the M's, which is nice. So management, let's just see, are they taking the 10%, which is the standard? If we have the gross rents at 14,400, 10%, that's what we have. 12,900, 1,290. So the 10% rule is being followed. So they're not actually here on this one. We see that the 10% is actually not being followed because they're actually accounting for what will be rented at sale, and they're counting the management on the total. So they're actually being even more conservative in their projections here for us, which is wonderful. I'll take it. And then this one, I'm not too sure what's happening. It's a little bit higher, so maybe this one's a typo. Not sure. So that's management, 10%. Maintenance. Here we have maintenance, and they're not round numbers, so they might be accurate numbers. They might actually be, he might actually be able to prove these with receipts or logs or bank statements as to where these management costs come around. However, remember our rule of thumb for maintenance costs. For a single family or a duplex, we want to account for about $100 a month per property. Okay, so that's about $1,200 a year. So these are duplexes, which basically, yeah, they're duplexes, and it's nice that there is a maintenance budget, that there are factoring some costs in, but it's a little bit on the low side, just a little bit, but not too much. So he's being a little bit less conservative there, but let's just roll with it. Utilities, okay, we have water here, but remember, that's not the only utilities. There's gas, electric, water, and sewer in most places for residential properties. In our city, that's what it is. So you better know where you invest what the utilities are. So does he mean it's just water or water and sewer? Most likely it means water and sewer. And if water and sewer for two families is $900 a month, they're pretty light on their usage. So I'm just going to flag that. And the second reason I'm going to flag that is because notice here, 900, 900, 900, 900, 900. Is it possible that we have 5 multifamilies that have $900 in water, sewer a month? It's impossible, right? They're going to be non-round numbers, and for sure, every property is going to be a little different. So I know that this is some number they plugged in, and basically the number they plugged in is $75 a month. And on a duplex, including water and sewer, that's too low. If the owner is responsible for that bill, it's too low. So that is a mental note that I'm going to make in my mind when I call them up. I'm going to get the history of this property. I'm going to build the relationship with the wholesaler. I'm going to do what I need to do, but you can be sure that I'm going to challenge that utility number before I put in any offer. All right, so I'm going to show them that I know that something's up there. So that's utilities, and then S, shit. There is a little bit of shit here in the vacancy. All right, that's part of your shit. Are there permits, licenses? Do you account for any additional capex? What is your buffer category? There's a little bit happening here from a vacancy perspective, but overall, not really. So that's kind of how I look at this really quickly. All right, next thing I want to look at is basically this is almost fully occupied with the exception of this one half of the duplex, and these 2 attics that could be rented, maybe vacant. After speaking with him, we realized that these are vacant, but they actually need to be they need to be built. Okay, so this is actually a multiple tens of $1,000s project to put these occupied, because these are not living units right now. But this one was vacant, and it's going to be part of the negotiation to include that one being occupied in the sale, because we're interested in buying. Well, maybe you are, maybe you're not. But in my pitch, I will say that I'm interested in buying cash flow, so I'm going to want that one rented before we close. So it's going to be contingent, one of the contingencies of the sale. Fantastic. So that's one thing I wanted to mention here. I just wanted to quickly dive in just to get a feel for this location. Where are these properties at approximately? So remember, you can put in the address and tack on Trulia at the end. Now you'll notice that sometimes it doesn't find your property, all right? So here it might look like this is the right result, but this is actually East 56th Street, and we're on East 139. And if you scroll down, oh, this one's on 139, but it's 4097, okay? And if you scroll down, you actually don't find your property on Trulia. You see it on Zillow here. This is the right one, but not on Trulia. I'm really looking for Trulia first because I want to get an idea of the crime level for this area. But you'll recall that these are 5 properties, right? They go from 4076 to 4096, and here's 4097. So do you think we're in the right neighborhood here? I think we are. So we can click here and go right to the crime category. And we see that we are right here. So we have color, all right? So it's not the safest place. We can't say there's no crime here, but all things considered, you see here, this is the street East 139th. It's actually a small street, and that particular street is on a lower crime area. So if we look at our scale here, we're on not the lowest, but we're on the lower side of the spectrum, and it's right beside a medium, and a couple blocks over it gets a little rough. Okay, so for us, this is not bad enough to say I'm not going to look at it. This is okay for us, but of course we're always going to include our manager after it's under contract and we've secured it, so we're not wasting other people's time, our power team's time. We're going to lock it up if the numbers make sense, and then later on in the due diligence, we're going to get the manager involved to say, hey, is this an area that you're comfortable with? It's part of the due diligence process to say, is this a yay or a nay for you to manage, for you to collect rents? Because if you don't have a manager to collect rents, you probably don't want to buy that property. So just keep that in mind. So this passes the crime test for me. So the next thing I'm interested in is to see what is the rent potential on these properties. Yes, they're currently rented at the numbers that were previously mentioned, but I want to see what the potential is so that over time, I want to know if these are under market, on market, or over market. So what does a 2-bedroom behave like in this area? Oops, not 1.5. I'm being a little generous here. What does a 2-bedroom look like here? Oh, sometimes this happens, but it's because the address is wrong. Okay. Let me find that again. East 139th in Cleveland. We want to use the predictive function as much as possible in these search engines because it's easy to do a typo. Okay, wonderful. So I'll remind you that Rentometer is a free site that you can use to get a feel for what the neighborhood is in terms of rents, but it combines apartments and full homes. So if I put a 2-bedroom here, it's gonna pull homes, 2-bedroom homes, and it's gonna pull 2-bedroom apartments. So we just got to be aware of that. So right here, we have our subject property with the orange pin, and right beside it we have 2 blues. Blue, the color code blue means it's basically right in the middle, it's right on the average. Green means it's below average, it's on the lower end of the spectrum. And red, which is a couple ways away, up here we have some reds, that's above average. So if you ask me, the properties become a little bit more luxurious in the northeast on this little map here. Not necessarily, but that's kind of what it's looking like. But right where we are seems to be right in the average area. So on average, we have 711 to 725, with the lower end being 615. And what are these properties rented for right now? All right, we've got some 650s, some 550s in there. So this property is under market. That would be my first guess here. Obviously, we'd have to take a look at the condition of the property and so forth. But at least it's looking good that over time, and as we cycle through tenants, maybe spruce the units up a little bit, there is some room to push that rent up over time, over the years. So I like that as well. We're not being sold at a premium because it was just fixed up and we're at top rent. So that's basically it. So the next step is to see what are these properties worth, right? So where can we go to see the worth of a property, get an opinion on the worth? We can go to a website called Total View Real Estate. We can go on Zillow. We can go on Redfin. We can go on iComps. We can go on, oh my Lord, where else? ePraisal, et cetera, et cetera. So I like Total View because it pulls up at least 2 typically, or 3 opinions of a property's worth. So you'll notice I copied the address format from Trulia to fit in Total View because that format, it seems to like it most of the time. So Total View estimates this property, this first duplex, at $59,000, and it pulls the Zillow's estimate as well, which is $60,000. So we have 2 opinions that it's right around the $60,000 range, And we can pull up some comps down here to kind of see the range. Okay, we got some really low-end properties, which were probably not turnkey and rented. And on the high end, oh, there's a $100,000 one here, but that's an 8.5, right? Maybe not a comp. What else do we have? We have a 70,000 for a 4.2, which is likely a duplex. 78, another 4.2. Okay, so we actually do have some in the 70s. There's one, a 5.3 here at 84. So I'm liking the $60,000 number right now. So let's recap here. We have 5 duplexes worth about 60,000 each. So multiply 5 by 60,000, we're about at 300,000. I'm doing this really quick, but that's the point of these calls, to get a quick idea of where we stand as we enter into the conversation with the seller or the wholesaler. We have, I'll remind you that they're asking $335 for this portfolio, and it's probably worth about $300 right now. So they're asking pretty much what it's worth in terms of real estate value, but the cash flow, I think, is pretty nice here. Right? Why do I say that? If you add up these numbers, we get a $41,000 NOI, net operating income per year, 41,000. And if you were to buy it for the asking price, all right, and are we going to pay asking price? Unlikely. We're going to negotiate this. So if we get 41,000 and we divide that by the asking price of $335, we get a 12 cap. They're basically asking straight out the gate a 12 cap for this portfolio. And obviously, this is a good starting place to go. But what if we got this property, which is generating 41 per year, and we got it for $285, right? What would it be then? It would be a 14.4 cap. Now we're really getting interesting, really, really interesting. And so this is how this deal happened for us. A couple months ago, it's been probably about 5 months ago, this particular package hit our inbox. And I spent a couple minutes going through it just like I did now. And I called them up, started building that relationship, building the conversation. And by the end of that, I put in a soft offer of $275-ish. I forget the exact, but I think 274, 386 or something like that. And oh no, that's not, we're looking there, we're not really in a rush for this, that, and the other thing. No problem, not at all. But the price did go down to about 305 over the course of the next 3-4 weeks. And obviously, that's part of the negotiation at that point. And I said no. You can say no as many times as you want, but the moment you say yes, it becomes much more difficult to renegotiate. So we were at 305 approximately. And from that point on, every month, I've been doing a follow-up with him. Hey, has there been any change? Did the income go up? Anything new with the story? And follow-up after follow-up, we get closer and closer to creating a magical deal. So in a nutshell, that's what this property is at. This is basically at, I think we're at 298 right now for 5 duplexes. So if we run the numbers, it's basically pretty close to a 14 cap, but we're still in the negotiating process. We're particularly patient in how we negotiate, but I wanted to give you some insight on the process. So let me know, what do you think? Is this a deal or is this not a deal? All right, let's hear it in the chat. Would you be all over this? Yeah, we got a deal? Yeah. Wonderful. We got a couple of people who think this is a deal. I think this is a pretty good deal as well. It's a great starting point, being offered a 12 cap right out the gate. You're onto something good. And if you know on top that they're negotiable, you want to have as many of those in your pipeline as possible as you're generating your leads and having your conversations and building your relationships. I think it is. I think it needs a little bit more negotiating, but I think we're good. Yeah. It's an excellent place to start. We need to confirm that water and sewer bill before we go anywhere, because I have a feeling that that bill is actually double what they're saying it is. But there's room on the to increase rents. There was one of the units that was vacant that I forget if they include that in their 41,000 or not. But yeah, I think this is a very good place to start and has lots of potential. Excellent. So, whoops. So let's wrap this up. Basically, I am going to. What's that? It's okay. Fantastic. So I wanted to close out the JK deal reveal side of this call, and I wanted to basically give you an opportunity, well, to let you know that we've got some exciting stuff coming right around the corner, actually this month. And let me just pull this up for you here, just like this, like that. It won't be very long. Okay. Again, I'm dealing with someone else's computer right now. I'm getting used to it. You'll forgive me. Excellent. So that should be good on your side right now. So at the end of the day, oh, it is. Well, I'm getting words on the side here that there might be technical difficulties. We're good. Okay. Okay, so at the end of the day, the point of these JK deal reviews and the point of the free trainings is to show you that it can be quite simple with the right blueprint. We really want you to succeed. We want to give you all the training and all the exposure that you need, risk-free or with as little risk as possible. See what we do, how quickly we can run through deals, because there is a huge opportunity right now, and we don't want you to miss it. And why do I think you're going to miss it? Well, because depending on your age and where you were in real estate 12 years ago, during the last crash, you probably missed that one. If you're listening to me right now, you probably missed the last one, or you just weren't ready at that time, or regardless of the reason, you didn't take advantage of that. So now is the time to get ready so that when opportunity knocks, you are prepared and you're just say, yes, 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 take all that candy to the bank. So right now, you most likely have little experience or no US experience, no connections, no plan, and no team. And these are things that you need to navigate the US real estate market, because it is something unknown, and unknown is scary at first. So we want to give you the tools and the strategies for success. Basically, if you're able to find the who to show you the how, you're well on your way to getting to where you want to go. Okay, and you might have, if you've been around the block a couple times, you know, in the last years, if you've been around the block in these type of trainings and presentations, you often see the gurus out there pitching two things: wholesale and fix and flips. Why? Because it's so easy to show this nice big fat check with, oh, I wholesale this deal, I never owned this property, and here's $10,000, $15,000, or here's this flip that we did, and here's a $35,000 upside that we got. It's so easy to make people dream big and fast with those type of checks and those type of experiences. And although it's true, and although it's possible to do, even as a Canadian in the US, it's not easy for Canadians to do those two strategies, right? It's possible, and over time you'll get it. It'll be part of your toolbox, but it's not the first thing that we recommend you do. What we recommend is to get access to something that's actually quite difficult to get in Canada, but actually quite easy in the US, and that's cash flow, okay? In Canada, buying investment properties is expensive, and building cash flow is tough. But imagine how many properties and how much cash flow you can build in the next 3 years if you bought everything for half price and double the returns. So we are all about the buy and hold strategy for cash flow. We want to show you how to buy turnkey properties. We want to show you how to buy a property that needs a little bit of work, but then you can rent it out at a premium for good cash flow. We want to teach you how to buy and hold, but with creative terms, so that you can get into deals with as little or no money out of pocket as possible, as often as possible. Am I going to promise that it's going to happen every single time? No, but we want to give you the tools so that you know that those strategies exist to best help the sellers and best help you achieve your investing goals. So we want cash flow. That is it, okay? Buy and hold for cash flow. if you got $100 to $500 of cash flow on every deal you bought, right? How long would it take you to reach your cash flow goal, your freedom number, your cash flow freedom number? And to do it without ever setting foot in a property, but by simply plugging in to a real estate machine, by plugging in to systems and strategies that are already working, and just repeat the blueprint. You have the blueprint, do the blueprint. So at this point, you probably have a lot of questions, and there's only so much that we can answer in 20, 30 minutes. And so over the years, we've realized that although you might think you have a lot of questions, they actually boil down to about a handful, all right? And after we get those handful of questions out of the way and answered well, the biggest obstacles to your motion, to your movement are gone, and you can really start to take action. So I want to spend a little bit of time to go over those few questions and eventually get you to where you want to go. Just like what we did with Marilyn. And Marilyn attended one of our workshops, and it was her first experience, and she loved the information, the speakers that we brought to them. And Gennady, similar thing, but he was a little bit more experienced in real estate, so it complemented his existing knowledge with some golden nuggets, and he said it will definitely save him a lot of time and headache in the future. So that's wonderful. So there comes a point where you just get all this information, and then you're at a crossroads. You either decide to do something with that or to not do it. Because we know this now. Like, you've probably been to our JK Deal Reveals a number of times. The difference between US and Canadian real estate prices is astronomical, okay? And there are so many myths that you might think are facts that are just holding you back. For example, the fact that you might need to be American to invest in real estate. Hopefully we've obliterated that myth over these deal reveals. The fact that you need a whole bunch of experience in real estate to jump in, not true. That there are financing options for Canadians, all right? You might not know that, but it's true. That you don't need good credit or any credit in the US to tap into those deals with that financing. So there's all these myths that are simply not true. And we have to get those out of the way so that you can go ahead and start taking action in the direction you want to go. But one of the biggest myths is that there are no more deals. And this is one that we were hearing a lot just a couple of years ago, because people were thinking that the 2008 crash, the inventory dried up. Well, that was never true in our particular market, but we are right on the cusp of a huge inventory influx just in the next couple of months, thanks to the volatility of the US and the coronavirus. Those are two factors that come together beautifully for real estate investors, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. So let me ask you a question. Now, there's a ton of stuff that we talk about every month, every call, and what I just said right now. And I don't want to overstep here, but I want to say that a lot of you are interested to learn more, right? To really get the full foundation behind them so that they can take that next step confidently and quickly. So I want you to take out a pen right now and write down the following dates. Okay, so right now, go get a pen and write down the following dates. We are November 28th and 29th, 2020. All right, November 28th, that's right, it's this month. It is a Saturday and a Sunday. We've put together a masterclass, and we've made it as convenient as possible for you. So it's JK's US Real Estate Investing Blueprint, your 2-day virtual masterclass to investing remotely. As I mentioned, November 20th and 29th, it's a Saturday, Sunday. We couldn't make it any more convenient than this for you. It is online, so you can stay home. There's no plane, no hotel, no restaurants. It's super lean when it comes to actually getting there and taking in all this information. And these are 2 full-day events. From 9 to 5, we are going to go in and lay it all out for you. So, as I mentioned, we are right on the cusp of a huge opportunity, and this is just one of the reasons why. There are predicted 40 million Americans who may default on their mortgages because of the COVID crisis, okay? And that sounds terrible, and it is. But on the other side, we have a way to help those individuals avoid foreclosure, avoid bankruptcy, save their credit, save their family, save their marriages by liquidating their property to an investor and moving on with their life on a more solid foundation. Now, 40 million mortgages, okay? You might not know this, but that's more people than in Canada, okay? That is a lot of mortgages. That is a lot of inventory that's going to hit the market as soon as shit really hits the fan, pardon my French. But when the government aid stops and it really starts to get real, right, that's when there's going to be a huge opportunity for investors to help those individuals and and profit handsomely in the process for bringing that help. So we want to teach you how to generate the cash flow, $100 to $500 per door per month on every deal you buy. We want to show you how to tap into financing, even if you're not American or have any credit, good credit in Canada or in the US. We want to teach you how to do it low or no money down if possible, show you those tools and strategies and how it helps the seller to do that, or have the seller ask or beg you to get into those type of structures. And we want to teach you how to do it from the comfort of your own home. We're going to analyze deals live, a little bit like these JK Deal Reveals, but we're going to have much deeper dives, and we're going to bring in professionals, members of our power team to help you along the way. This is one of the biggest values that we bring during our weekend trainings. We bring you the dream team. So you want to have the beat on the street, we bring one of our local realtors to talk about the market and if this is a good time or not to start jumping in, or where to find deals that are on the market. But we bring our loan broker, our mortgage broker, who finds you the financing as a Canadian to finance your deals. We have a corporate attorney, okay, a badass corporate attorney that makes things go smooth as glass, and we've never had a problem. Everything is legal and above board with him. We love him, charismatic, approachable. He's who you want in your corner before things go wrong, so that things never do go wrong. But more than that, we bring our property manager, so to show you the ins and the outs, what to expect, what is a property manager. If you don't know that type of person exists, they are amazing and a key element of your team as a foreign national investor. So a whole bunch of people that we're bringing to you to bring you the experience from, and we vetted these people for you, and we use them ourselves. So from a price point, from a price standpoint, from a quality standpoint, from an integrity standpoint, we've already got them for you. So why go through the years of trial and error like we did to finally end up on these people? And you know, if you don't know the stories, we've gone through people to find who we have now today. So hopefully we can skip all of that. But don't take it from me. Here we have Mark. Mark says that acceleration and massive growth with Kyle and Janie, with doing with them and their amazing circle of genius. So he loves our team as well. We have Wendy, who says that she found more value and content in this one event than several others she's attended all rolled together. Carl, very helpful to know where to start when investing in the US, and it's 100% worth it. But we want to bring you even more. We've done this training multiple times in the past, and every time we want to bring you more and more value. So now, because it's just a 2-day event, we want to give you the 3-4 day event material. So we've put in a pre-training bonus, the basics, investing from a solid foundation, everything about financial freedom and how it relates to real estate. Because we want to get real. We want real people, real deals, real partners, and real fun, just like we do every year in Cleveland, minus this year because of COVID. But these are just amazing, engaging experiences, and we don't want our live events, even if they're virtual, to be any less unique because we're behind a screen. So we put everything we can. So that's the before, the during. What about after? What about after the workshop? What can we expect then? Well, we have a second bonus training specifically on advanced negotiations techniques, okay? As I mentioned, to have sellers want to do business with you, that you are able to present to them the benefits of working with you and ultimately getting that gem of a deal every single time because you know how to craft your words in the process. So after the training, after the workshop, there's a whole other training waiting for you, and it's amazing. So what do you get? Okay, we want you to unlock US real estate. We have our 2-day virtual workshop, okay, and bonus pre-training, bonus post-training. Together, this has easily a value of over $3,000, but it won't be just that. So how do you get started? First, you reserve your spot. You're going to have a link in a couple minutes on where to look to see all the details if you're interested. The second step is to attend, learn the blueprint, how to find those deeply discounted deals and those high cash flow deals every single time, and not buy anything but deals that cash flow strongly. But that's not all. There's so much more we can do for you, and we're excited to bring it to you because we are super committed to your success. We want to know if you're committed, all right? We are looking for serious and committed people, and that's why we put this training together, to give whoever wants that foundation, and from there, their actions will speak louder than words. So let me ask you a few critical questions. Are you willing to invest a handful of hours a week to secure your retirement? Just a handful of weeks, a handful of hours per week, and you can have your retirement secured in just a couple years. Is that an interesting proposition for you? Are you interested in just more cash flowing properties? Right? It might be difficult in your market to even find them, and now it's just going to be deal after deal after deal. And are you excited to learn how to get your first deal in under 90 days? Because with the right training and marketing systems, why couldn't you? It's action time. It's time, because either way, you're going to get your first check in the next 60 to 90 days. And let me tell you, you have the opportunity to get your first check, which is a cash flow check of $100 to $500 a month on your first deal, and be one step closer to your financial freedom. Or the second type of check you might get is a reality check, because it might hit you that the only thing that happened was you aged 60 or 90 days. So which check do you want to receive? You have to decide now. Because when you look at a deal, a potential deal, kind of like what we did on the JK deal reveal just before, one of three things can happen. You can want the deal, do the deal, and get your cash flow, get your equity, get what you ultimately desire. We can want the deal, do the deal, and you may or may not get compensated in that process because you were on the sideline. Or someone else wants the deal and they were faster, they got the deal, we got absolutely nothing. So which one do you want to happen? Now, I'm just bringing this back, that there's this on November 28th and 29th, we have the full weekend training. And I want to make this as easy as possible, the decision for you to make. So I'm going to bring out a special guest speaker right now, straight from the grave in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Our good friend Ben Franklin, who famously said, "Tell me and I'll forget, teach me and I'll remember, involve me and I'll learn." This is how we begin to get you involved. And to make sure that you have all the support you need, we've decided to throw in a bunch of extra COVID specials for you today. So just imagine, you've got the 2-day workshop, the pre and post training, but what about after that training, right? What potential do you think is available there if that support continued even after the workshop, that you continued to have an opportunity to meet with Janie and I and other people who are doing the business, and to learn with them and get together to get all of your answers live week after week after the training? Imagine what potential you could achieve. And that's what we're bringing for you right here. We have our US Real Estate Deal Mastery Coaching. It is weekly live coaching on how to close deals fast. So what does that mean? It means for 30 days after the workshop, you are going to have weekly calls to come in on one-on-one coaching in a group setting to ask your questions. You're actually getting plugged in to our Now for Tomorrow Club Premium Mastery call. But that's not all. Every single training that we've done in the past, whether it be our JK Deal Reveals, our free trainings that you've probably listened to a couple by now, but every other training that we've done in all the years past. They're all recorded and put in our library for you to listen to. So you have 30 days to go through everything that we've ever recorded and given for trainings so that you have no excuse. You have all the knowledge and all the tools to get your deals done. And let's not forget the massive leverage that you get by just being in proximity to other individuals, other business owners who are also doing it, who might be just one step ahead or one step behind you, but together you're all learning in real time so that you can continue propelling this forward. Just this deal mastery coaching is about $1,500 a month, okay? And that is going to be 100% free. We're throwing it in 30 days after the workshop, you have it, so take full advantage of it. Because it also includes the e-course that we built, which is everything you need to know before buying a property, all right? Which is just that as a $500 value, but regardless, we're throwing that in so you can rocket fast, quick start your training, and easily deal with your lead generation and deal management as well. We have a resource center that's part of the deal mastery coaching. So you want scripts, you want templates, you want action plans. It's all there for you to just take and download and do what you need to do to get the job done. This, just that resource center is over $1,000 to get. It's insane, everything we're throwing in, and that's absolutely free with the workshop. So, but then we thought, how can we make this even better? Would you like a guarantee? Well, how about this? We'll give you 8. You're getting JK's 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if by the end of the first of the 2-day training, you feel like, you know, the JK's US Real Estate Investing Blueprint is not for me, we'll refund you the entire investment, and you get to keep all of our training materials for free as a thank you for taking action, for giving you that chance to unlock the lifestyle you deserve through US real estate investing. So I don't know what else to say. The biggest risk is not doing anything, in fact. So having that type of a guarantee, what is that worth to you? So last chance, I'm going to recap everything that we've put together for you. You get to unlock US real estate in under 90 days. You get our 2-day event. You get our monthly training. You get our e-course, our resource center, our pre and post trainings. You get a 100% money back guarantee. You get, I forgot to mention this, bring a friend. We want you to bring your spouse, bring your friend, your brother, your business partner, share. We are here to give as much as we can and just get the word out that there's this huge opportunity right around the corner, and we don't want anyone to miss it. So JK's double, bring a friend, share the wealth. And of course, for the first 5 people who take action, you get a one-on-one with me, a deep dive consultation, and just that is a value of $500. Just that 1 hour with me, $500, it pays everything. So add them all up. I didn't actually add them up. It's over $5,000 of value, and it's yours today for $497. So if this is of interest to you, get instant access today to your deal, www.n4tblueprint.com. You go to that URL, you'll reread everything that's included in this training. Sign up, put in your credit card information, $497, click submit, RSVP your spot, and you're in, right? You might even get a little bit of confetti shooting out of your computer screen at the end. I don't know, but just take a look. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. For all of the value that we're bringing to you, this is a steal. Richard basically says it was a game-changing training at a very cheap price, and just know that half of the stuff that I just mentioned wasn't even there when all of these people went through our past trainings. Okay, so these are all, yeah, not even the same. Dino, he came to the training, it was awesome, so now I really want to act on it. And lastly, we have James, who said that JK's training, if you're thinking about investing in the US, stop thinking. This is a must. So one last time from Ben Franklin, he says the best investment one can make is in yourself, because that's the investment that's going to pay the best interest. These are words to live by. He couldn't be more right. And we hope to see you soon at our next 2-day virtual training. So www.n4tblueprint.com. Reserve your spot, and we'll see you soon. Sending you lots of love, and as always, do now for tomorrow. Take care, everyone.